That's exactly what it is called. The law of the avenger of blood. Verse number 1, Deuteronomy 19. When the Lord your God cuts off the nations whose land the Lord your God is giving you, and you dispossess them and dwell in their cities and in their houses, you shall set apart 3 cities for yourselves in the land that the Lord your God is giving to you to possess. You shall measure the distances, and you shall divide into 3 parts the area of the land that the Lord your God gives you as a possession, so that any manslayer can flee to them. Excuse me, just one second. One second, guys. I just have to send this to my buddy, Rice. I'm in the middle of business. Okay, so we're in Deuteronomy chapter number 19. Do excuse me for that. So in Deuteronomy chapter number 19, so he says, you shall set up 3 cities so that the manslayer, so that the killer of people may flee to that place. Why is God making a provision for a killer to run away and not be punished? Listen, verse number 4. This is the provision for the manslayer, who by fleeing may save his life. This is a provision for the manslayer, who by fleeing may save his life. If anyone kills his neighbor unintentionally, without having hated him in the past, as when someone goes into the forest with his neighbor to cut firewood, and his hand swings the axe to cut down a tree, and the head of the axe slips from the handle and strikes the neighbor so that he dies, he may flee to one of these cities and live there. So in other words, if you killed somebody under the law of Moses unintentionally, without intending to kill them, accidentally, you are given a provision where you could flee into the city of refuge, even though you had shed blood, even though you had killed somebody. Because remember, the law of Moses was a tooth for a tooth, an eye for an eye, a life for a life. If you killed, you are to be killed. But God also recognized by grace that you can kill somebody by mistake. You can discharge a gun without intending to kill somebody. You can hit somebody with a car without, what is called, unintentional manslaughter. Anyway, lest the avenger, so let me read again. So if he strikes his neighbor so that he dies, he may flee to one of these cities and live. Verse number 6, lest the avenger of blood in hot anger pursue the manslayer and overtake him, because the way is long, and strike him fatally